Now, I'm not quite certain what's going to happen here in this particular video. We link this in our Discord in the Look at This DG area. Thank you so much for being active, everyone. This one, I don't know. Let's read the title here together. In defense of Care Bears, removing toxicity from Star Citizen. Now, right away from the title, I'm not poo-pooing on that type of gameplay. If you don't want to be involved in PvP, I completely understand it. You're more than welcome to play the game the way that you want. The security system isn't there, unfortunately, but it will be. You'll have those safe times. It's not safe right now. We're in alpha. We're testing, blah, blah, blah. I get it. However, the title makes me feel this. In defense of Care Bears, removing toxicity from Star Citizen makes me feel this way.
Warning. Incoming salad vibes.
I'm already feeling the salad vibes. I'm gonna refrain. I'm gonna give this man his moment. His name is Shark's Bite. This particular shark does not bite though. It's all gummy, just gums, no teeth.
There's been a pejorative word making the rounds in the community that I'd like to address. Care Bear has been around for ages in other communities, but we need to look at the way it is and can impact us on Star Citizen. This video will address that, among other less savory trends in the game. It's important and in the best interest.
Did he say unsavory trends in the game? Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
Warning.
I haven't listened to him yet.
Incoming salad vibes.
I haven't listened to him yet, Pepe. That's not fair, Pepe. Pepe, that wasn't fair. I have not listened to him yet.
Of all citizens, that we promote a positive and welcoming community. We've seen in games like League of Legends and Call of Duty, where a toxic atmosphere is allowed to foment, that people leave the games and growth slows or even stops. For a game that is in its infancy, this is untenable.
Was League of Legends just used as a game? Was League of Legends used as an example? Was League of Legends just used as an example? Sorry.
Warning. Incoming salad vibes.
I'm starting to feel it. Hold on. I'm going to take, again, like I said, and Pepe and I both agree on this, right, Pepe? If that's the way you want to play the game, that's cool, man. That's cool. But, don't push that style on me. Don't make me wear that suit. It's too tight. Perhaps I don't like the buttons or the way that it fits. I'm a stoutly gentleman. Not every suit fits me. I got to go to the big and tall store. Not anymore. I'm losing a lot of weight. I'm looking very svelte. I'm looking very, very in shape. But let's keep going.
When a game gains a reputation for toxicity, new players are put off and less likely to become involved in the community, which means that they're much less likely to recruit their own social circle, and retention drops. Several things contribute to this toxicity: negativity, trolling and griefing, lack of interest in helping new players, and gatekeeping. Negative player attitudes and insults bring down everyone, and it makes it more difficult to find common ground. There are always people who are less likable, and we can't remove them from the game. We may even occasionally be them from the
We can't remove them from the game, but we would like to. We would like to chop off their hands in a very peaceful way. We would like to chop off their feet in a very peaceful way. And we would like to remove them from the game.
time to time. But it's important.
Is this a troll? Like, I feel at the very end there's going to be like a punchline. There might be a punchline.
To reduce those instances. And while we all have bad days, it's in our best interest to control and neutralize the negative responses to them, lest the negativity grow and spread. The game is already relatively difficult to get started in. Just pay attention to the chat during free fly events, new user posts in groups, Reddit, and watch videos made by established gaming channels trying out the game. Some, actually a lot, of the tribal knowledge that we use on a daily basis to enjoy or even just mitigate frustration in game and that we take for granted are completely unknown to the wider population of new players. This is exacerbated by the fact that there isn't any semblance of a tutorial. To aid in this, there are several great videos by content creators such as Board Gamer, Avenger, Morphologist, Noobifier, Ollie, Level Cap, and these help new players, so even if we don't want to take the time to babysit, we can guide players to them. If we want to be more involved, we can offer specific help in chat, make our own videos, link to Spectrum and Reddit guides, etc.
Let's all hold hands and have a perfect world. I want him to, I just want to sing over this track, and I want everybody to be peaceful and loving right now. Let's all live in a perfectly bland, wonderful world, holding hands. You know, what I find a lot of times these are the most dangerous people. People that have this mentality, that bring this to the table, that want you to play in a certain way or want to fit you in a hole when you don't fit particularly in that hole, but they want you to conform to it. Those are generally speaking the most PvP players in the world. They just don't know they are. And that's what you have to be very careful of, because I'm getting a lot of this right now. From what I'm hearing, I'm just getting a lot of that. I know Erad's very happy with that sound effect right now. Let's keep going.
One of the most controversial parts of the game is centered around griefing and trolling. We can't even decide on a common definition, and this is where the Care Bears come in.
No, we can agree. Griefing's when it goes over the line and it's just it gets so personal that you feel like it's coming into the real world. Like when it gets scary. That's griefing, you know, like pad ramming, that type of thing. Yeah. Just, you know, at the stage we're at in the development, we're just going to have to deal with that, you know. But like one of the things that really differentiates, like, you know, pirating or PvP from griefing is the fact that like griefing goes over the line in terms of making it personal to the point where the person in real life feels like, hey, this guy's actually coming after me in the real. That's what griefing is. Right? When you go into an MMO, when you go into a sandbox, especially this game, Star Citizen, there should be an element of danger. I understand what this man is saying. I understand that he wants like safe space. There will be safe space, people. There will be safe space, but we all have to take a moment and breathe collectively and realize that generally speaking, security is not implemented the way that it should be to give you that safe space yet. Okay, it's not that we don't want the safe space as PvPers. We understand the necessity for it. Okay, and I think in a way, as a PvPer, if I can look at it from that point of view, then I feel like this man should also look at it from a different point of view as well, which I don't think this man can or will. And that's the dangerous part. That's what makes what's interesting, because his name is Shark's Bite, but his name should probably be Sharks without the bite. This man is probably the most dangerous person in the world because he wants you to play a game the way he likes to play it. At least I can come at it from the perspective as a PvPer and look at this and say, hey, if I was primarily a PvEer, I would want safe space. If I can take out the time to do that, and to look at it from that perspective and appreciate that and agree on those points, then I feel people like Shark's Bite should also look at this end of the spectrum and agree with that. Perhaps he does. But the way this video is coming across, it's just all types of salad vibes right now. All types.
Warning, incoming salad vibes.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
There are extremes on both sides, and I argue that each of these sides is very wrong. We don't want an easy mode game with the ability to turn off combat or eliminate
and you will
risk,
have that, you know?
Because unless there's difficulty...
And, you know, people get mad at me when I talk like this, and I really want people to understand, both PvPer and PvE are alike, you know? I understand that there are players out there that want those spaces, and you will have them. Like Starstream says, I want to be able to hang my washing on a line without being rammed into the ground by a spaceship. Absolutely, 110% understand that, Starstreams. We need those spaces, but they're not able to be implemented because they're not in the game design. We got baby phase security. We don't have the security the way we want security. We still only have one system. I think when we get to Pyro and we start seeing that development happening and we have an outlaw system and a secure system, you're going to see security increase tenfold. I think security will increase tenfold in Stanton. The second Pyro goes up and that outlaw space is there. And you'll see people who are PvP oriented gravitate towards Pyro, and you'll see PvEers gravitate towards Stanton. And what's going to end up happening is people are going to say, well, why would the PvEers want to go to Pyro? Why would the PvEers want to go into a PvP space, right? Interesting question. Because the reward risk element, perhaps you're an industrialist or a trader that wants to make super profit. The reward's going to be more to bring in goods into Pyro because of the danger, because of the risk versus reward, and it will be balanced as such. Good conversations are had on this video, even though we're smelling the salad.
Risk and work involved. The value of gameplay is empty.
Ash, right.
PvP sliders are antithetical to the Star Citizen experience. At the same time, the idea that, quote, it's a PvP game, so any technically feasible gameplay is legitimate, should also be off the table. We already know that the crime stat system is arbitrary at best, and not a one of us with any significant playtime has escaped the wrath of a crime stat bug.
Pico's evil.
There are also
Pico's going to
significant
betray
errors which allow players to escape the crime stat, or at least any meaningful crime stat, and literally get away with murder.
We're eating it too, E-Rad.
Incapacitating someone and dropping them with a tractor beam for a single example.
Exactly.
The system is far from perfect, and while we can't always trust people...
Remember, Picos are all evil space penguins, okay? Let's just... Backspace knows it. Everybody should know it. Picos are evil space alien penguins.
Their best selves, we can hold ourselves accountable to some sort of honor when making decisions about what kind of gameplay to engage in. Does the amount of time I'm investing in this activity correspond to the amount of time I'm costing other players? I'm looking at you, guy who nuked a ship meet. If the crime stat and death of a spaceman systems were effectively implemented, would I engage in this activity? If the only reason you're doing something bad is for the lulz and because there are little to no consequences, is it ethical behavior? Is there actually any benefit for me other than ruining someone else's enjoyment of something that I
can't. Imposing a style of gameplay. Like, I think the one thing that's interesting is I find, and I might be biased here because I'm primarily PvP, so with a grain of salt, realize that before I say this. I think that it's much more difficult for PvEers to look at the PvP side of things than it is for the PvPers to look at the PvE side of things. I hear this all the time. PvEers getting very upset about, griefing and like the danger, keep me safe, keep me sheltered. This is my style of gameplay and only I want this style of gameplay in my game. And it's a very elitist kind of, it just comes off wrong. It's very authoritarian. It's like, you're going to play this game the way I want you to play this game, but you're going to do it smiling. You're going to have a good time doing it. Like, it comes off real wrong. And so, to all this, I have to say this, because I'm waiting for a punchline and there isn't one. The punchline is the fact that I don't think this guy's getting it, and I'm going to have to do this. And I'm sorry, Sharks Bikes. I'm sure you're going to watch this and think I'm a giant asshole. And, I'm sure you're a nice dude in the real, but like, I don't agree with any of this that I'm listening to right now. Like, other than the fact that I don't like griefing and I don't like people going and harassing somebody continually to the point where it merges into the real. That I understand. But generally speaking, what I'm listening to is this. Boo! 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 Done.